Went and I had, oh, this is such a great experience. Okay, this is one of my favorite stories. So I had a meeting with some guys who represented an animation company, and they said they wanted to meet me and talk about a project that I had in mind. I contacted them a little while ago with an idea for something, and they said, we're in LA at the moment. We'd love to meet you in person and chat about it. So I went down to an undisclosed location, although it was public, right? But while I was chatting with them, this is the first time this has ever happened to me in almost 2 years of being in Nijisanji. I was sat talking to these guys, and suddenly I look, and behind the one who sat in front of me, I see some people sit down. A little ways in the distance, not close, so I didn't feel too scared. Shu cosplayer, Rosemi cosplayer, Selen cosplayer, and I was like, oh my god. I sat there and I was like, that's so cool, but I was like, okay guys, I'm gonna start talking really quietly now. I'm gonna start talking really quietly. Because I was like, oh my god, if I went up and introduced myself, they would know who I am. I've never experienced that before in my entire life, right? I was so like, unfortunately, God, when I did go to the con, this is skipping ahead a little bit. When I did go to the con, I really wanted to find a Vox cosplayer, but I didn't wind up finding any in the end. There were a lot of Niji cosplayers sort of in certain areas, but I didn't manage to find a Vox one. And I really wanted to put on a voice and get a selfie with them, but I feel like that might have been a little too dangerous, but I was just so excited. But yeah, so that happened. And then the fear started setting in, and I remember at that point Sho called me to let me know what we were going to do next, and I ran outside and I went to go answer the call. I was like, okay, I'm going to try and get away from them because I'm on the call and make sure they can't hear my voice. So I walked away a little bit, turn a corner, bam, another Shu cosplayer, and I was like, and I just kept walking around, and I was really just trying my absolute hardest to not be around anyone. And then while I was on the phone with Sho, suddenly I looked towards the building and a Kotaka cosplayer is walking in my direction, and I was like, oh! And I just started walking around trying to be whispering under my breath, trying not to get them to notice, to hear my voice, but it was fine. Nobody recognized me in the end, and that was ridiculous.